Welcome back, everyone, to Feed the Bear While You Pick Up the Phone, Mike, a Mayor of Kingstown podcast brought to you by the DVR Podcast Network. Check us out at dvrpodcast.com. You can also become a patron, like Tracy, our newest Patreon person. I said it like Solo says. Our newest Patreon. Tracy is awesome. Actually, I think Tracy first heard us from Little Miss Recap, from me doing some pods with Amy. So
Oh,
thank
nice.
you,
Nice.
Tracy, and people who are fans. Go over, listen to Little Miss Recap. Awesome reality TV recaps, and I am doing Special Forces from season 1 with Amy every Friday. It's a lot of fun. But today we are here, of course, to talk about Mayor of Kingstown, episode 7, season 4, entitled My Way. Solo is back with us, and he's going to tell us who wrote and directed this.
Hello, everyone from
Hi, Solo.
Kingstown. Yeah, Guy Ferlin directed it.
Nice.
Writers, we've got three writers credit on this episode. Christian Donovan, Jeremiah Wessling, and our boy James Arcega Tinsley. We've been writing a lot of
Nice.
these episodes, so
Yes. Great. Awesome. Solo, we missed you. How was your week off?
it was I don't remember, but you know what? It Missing a Kingstown pod with you guys is like missing a birthday, missing Christmas, because this show, I mean, we've been talking about it since the beginning, and this season just keeps going. It's awesome. It's probably my favorite season. It'll be interesting how the finale works because season one, the prison and all that, and my boy Robert going in, like that to me was like the ultimate, like holy crap. Um, but this season is headed towards a way that I'm afraid to.
Yeah.
But it seemed like this episode, it seems like our team started getting a handle on things. Now,
Yeah.
whether it works or not, it's we had a sense that the tide was turning. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to chatting about it.
Awesome. Most definitely. That's how I'm feeling too. Ando, you with us on that?
Yeah. Yeah, I I don't know if they've really got a handle on things because one of them might not be around anymore, but I'm
Well,
I yeah, I think it's a temporary fix and I think it's gonna I think we're headed for a bad things happening to our team by the end of this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see Mike on the offense, though, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I think we had a couple episodes there, more than a couple, where it looked like the Colombians were hitting him. Hobbs had control of Kyle. There was, inside the jail and outside, things were not going their way. Things are starting to turn now with Mike kind of taking on the offense and
Oh yeah,
deciding
he's way
that,
more proactive now
yeah,
instead of being reactive
yes.
like he has been most of this season, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep. Not acting scared. I think he was acting scared. I think Kyle behind bars was fucking him up. And you know what I loved this episode? Honestly, one of my favorite things was when Robert mentioned Mitch. Because they don't mention Mitch enough on this show. And when he
Hmm.
was like, everything's fucked up since Mike came around. And we get back to the history
Oh, and
of
Marion got
Mike
mentioned too. I
becoming the
thought that
mayor.
was, yeah, a lot of the
Yeah,
history got
yeah,
mentioned this
and this
week.
is the
nice. You're
at least
right.
the
Yep.
second time Robert has mentioned Mitch doing
Hmm.
stuff. They
Yeah.
reiterated, look at all the stuff I've done, and then the killing. And that what's brought me back to the prison. Saving Eon and Kyle when
Yeah.
Robert and the crew went in, but then they got, you know, they were trying to sell them out, blame someone for the mishap there. But like, yeah, it keeps bringing that up, and I'm like, I love the history. You're right, Axel.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to
It's
see that
important.
Mitch episode. I know we won't get it probably, but you know,
Yeah, that would be
He's got to come.
awesome.
They got to get him back for like just one little scene or something before
like a
the end,
John
right?
Bernthal in the Bear scene. Like, just give me
Exactly.
Yeah,
something. Give
that'd
me
be great.
something. Give me one.
That would be
You know.
awesome. That would be awesome. But yeah, overall, I really like this episode and this season. I mean, we're 7 episodes in of a 10 episode season. So we only have 8, 9, 10, 3 episodes
Three to go. Yep.
left to go. And this thing is a locomotive. This is definitely my favorite season since season 1. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think if it doesn't fall off a cliff and continues at this, I think it will be my number one season.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this one so much. I got to think back on that first season, but this season has been pretty incredible, I think.
Yeah, as long as they don't bring back Milo from the dead, it's might be the best season. And then
Well, that
Iris.
Mike still doesn't know that Iris is
Yeah,
dead.
Yeah, that's right.
that's
He
Great
what I
still
point.
mean.
doesn't know.
Yep.
This is like that's crazy. Yeah, good
Wow.
stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's jump in to episode 7 my way. I'm going to go through it with you folks. And I do want to say, too, we have been getting a bunch of reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, people writing in. Thank you. We appreciate all the positive feedback that we're getting. And we just love doing this show. We just got Paramount reached out. We might be getting some interviews. We'll see if it works out. That would be freaking awesome if that does work out. They've been kind enough to give us screeners. That's how we've been able to record early in these episodes. I'm trying to drop them like the minute we're allowed to drop them. So that's been fun as well. So I just did want to give a shout out to all the listeners for a second and say thanks again. And if you did want to, write to us, it's dvrpodcast@gmail.com. I don't think I ask enough for feedback, but we always love it, and it always helps us understand the episodes better, as we hope we're doing the same for you. All right, let's jump in. Country road, take
Take
me
me
home. God,
home.
I hate that fucking song.
I
I love it.
was thinking of you when this came because I was like, I'm pretty sure Axel ranted about this on a text chain like within the last week.
Oh my God,
I'll admit,
enough.
I love the song, but in the last like 7 years, it's become so popular, especially globally. It's become more. I
Hmm.
was in Czech. We were going to some fair or something, and then these kids had a boombox playing Country Road and singing it. I was like,
Ando,
why
as
now?
a person, yeah, this it's just, I mean, we don't get into it, but it's like we've talked about how little people in America actually live in the country,
Yes.
and how it is just a mythology of America, this country shit.
Yeah, it's a
Andy actually
romanticized
lives in
version
the
of
country.
yes, I do live in the country, yes.
Yeah.
And it's weird that song being popular now is crazy because like it was always huge when I was a kid because it was one of the few songs we're actually talking about that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's very weird to me that like I said the last 7 8 years it's gotten so
Yes.
big.
And they
It's
Very
play it at the
strange.
NFL games in like
Yeah.
London and stuff at the
I know.
stadium.
It's so weird. It's so it's just it's a cultural thing. I mean, look, we're all back in the 80s now again, right? So it's like a cultural thing of like country is good. But anyway, Merle's singing his country song. But I think there's a point to that, though. I mean, I think that this show likes to put things in like that. Like I was saying earlier in the season when Merle was talking about stoicism and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I think that this is not, they're intelligent people writing this. There's reasons why they want to touch on these cultural kind of milestones. And also, that does have political, racial ramifications that this show does as well, that we see
Right.
all the time, right? So I really liked it. I thought it was cool. And this guy, obviously, the actor playing Merle, he's doing it. We don't say it enough. What an amazing job he does. I mean, he is this guy, right? Like when you think about that stereotypical Aryan nation guy, like that's him. He's doing it.
It's a perfect
Yes,
casting, and it's like
beautiful.
to a T. I mean, it's just, I bet if I'm sure if he did audition or maybe got an offer to do it, but I'm sure in the audition, as soon as he opened his mouth, they're like, that's our guy.
Yeah,
Well,
that's Merle.
he also has a prominent part in the movie Barbarian, which is a movie I didn't see until just recently. And watching that movie for the first, I couldn't not see Merle. I was like, holy shit, what is Merle in this? He is so good in this part that
Right.
I think it's going to be one of the. It's like Ben Linus or somebody. Every time I see him from now on, I'm going to think of Callahan.
I didn't even realize that was him, Ando.
Yes,
Now it comes back to me when you see that's acting. That's range. That's
yeah,
good shit. I love it. Anyway, him and Kyle finally have their kind of conversation where they can look each other in the eye through the bars, and of course the officers allow him to do it, right? Because it's Merle, and they go at it. This was a good conversation. Actually, Kyle seems to being, I don't know, what I took from this conversation, guys, is that Kyle being pulled from Mike to Merle is kind of at this point fuck them both. That's what I got out of this conversation and his later conversation with Cindy. What do you think, Ando?
I'm I have a lot of questions about Kyle here because we get this with him defending his brother and then him with Cindy and he's like, no, fuck him and all whatever he says. And then
Yeah,
later when he talks to his wife on the
Tracy.
phone, he's
Yeah.
like, well, Mike's taking care of it. So what is going on with Kyle? He's so back and forth. Maybe is he just screw everybody at this point? I don't under I'm
I think I'm going
I
to say
didn't
this,
get that.
Ando. So it, I've done this before, not in prison, but like when you might be fed up with someone and they're like, no, it'll go this way. Don't worry about it. Ah, come on. But then you talk to your wife and you want to give her like positive news. And
Hmm.
that's the only positive thing he has. So he's using
yeah,
that to
yes.
please her. So, but
I
that's
love
his
that
mind
solo.
too. He's back
Yeah.
and forth because I was shocked because it was leading to him becoming Mike in prison,
Yeah.
again. And then for him to just like go at, I always want to call him Wyndham Earl. Um, when he's going after Callahan, I was shocked, but I think he's fed up, and he's
Yes.
because
Yeah.
that whole him trying to gain control back. I think that's what he's trying to do, even though it may not work doing it
Hmm.
this way. He's trying to get some sense of control by both Callahan, Mike, and then he kind of breaks down a little bit with Tracy because, like, you just like, I
And
love you and you're so important, and he doesn't know if he's going to survive.
I wonder if part of it too, like especially with the Merle stuff, it's one of those things like I can be pissed off at my brother, but don't you be pissed off at my brother kind of one of
Right,
those
Yes.
situations.
right.
I'm
Right.
wondering if that was
Right.
one of the things too. It's like he's still my brother, fuck him, but he's still my brother kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does also say, Mike, you're gonna die long before me and Mike. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like he's in that sense he's standing up for Mike. I like what you said, Solo. How like you're on the phone with someone and you're just trying to find something good to say and
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
I
placate
like that
her.
idea too.
He feels like he's losing her, but I mean, look, he has no power. He's in prison. He can puff himself up as much as he wants, but he can't do anything. He's in a fucking prison cell. You know, Hobbs is still the warden. What does he have? Cindy? You know what I'm saying? Like seriously. So
Yeah.
I was kind of proud of Kyle for the first time this season when he kind of stood up to Merle. And then I don't know, that's why I think he's gonna because that's what he's done in the past, right? He's been like, fuck everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he has these moments where he becomes tough guy all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
then he always reverts back to
Yep.
the meek.
He
I'm not really
does.
sure what I want to do, and
He's
I'm
not meant for this
surprised he didn't
world.
play
Yeah.
along with Merle. I'm
hmm
surprised just for
That,
survival.
that's a good
That's
that's a good
that's
point.
yeah.
interesting because you could renege on it. I mean,
hmm
like you don't have to, but
Well, Mike obviously did. That's
well, yeah, yeah.
with
That
Merle
so
when he was
so
in prison. So
yeah, so it's interesting. I don't know if I would have made that play right there.
Yeah.
I think he went on emotion and what's going on in his mind, and but hey, that's what makes the show great. We're dealing with humans here, not the
hmm
perfect people.
yeah.
This
I
is
agree.
stuff that the three of us put in that situation. We might have each made different decisions. You
I
I'd
would have
still
know,
be
been dead a
popping.
long time
You
ago.
can't. I'd just be popping those pills if I was Kyle. I'd be like, "Fuck this." I'd be like, "Country road."
Country Road. You'd be playing Country Road with no teeth.
Like I'm a country now, boys. All right, here we go. But one important part of this is that we have this continuing thing of the cameras, right? And I am convinced because later on we go directly from something happening on the cameras to Hobbs that once again, every time we see a camera, them take a picture of the actual. I don't know how to describe. We all know because we're watching it, but it's actually the camera taking a picture of the security camera on
Yeah.
a monitor.
Yeah.
We
Of the
see the
closed circuit
monitor
TV.
really.
Yep.
Yes, closed circuit TV. That it's Hobbs watching,
hmm
right? That we're to assume she's watching what Kyle's saying to Merle, right? She's watching Cindy talk to Kyle later. She's watching everything that's going on, but also Cindy's paying attention. And I don't know, because of that later scene with Cindy and Mike, when Mike comes to give the hockey sticks to the kid, I really feel like they are building something here with Cindy and Mike. And this is really, if we think back on relationships we've seen Mike with Iris, we've seen Mike with Ellen. Have we seen Mike with anyone else besides Ellen? Wasn't there one
Evelyn.
other? Evelyn, I'm sorry.
Ellen
Uh,
DeGeneres.
I always call her Ellen or Helen. It's my brain. Sorry, folks.
Hey, it
I
happens.
should, because you know why I'm trying not to call her Foley, because
Yeah, I
that's my
know. I
last
know.
name.
I
yeah.
know.
That's why it fucks me up the whole entire time, is because, and my grandmother was Helen. Anyway, there was, who else did Mike? Well, he flirted with Bunny's cousin, who later got killed,
Oh, that's right.
who was really beautiful. And
Hmm.
I thought there was one other woman that was in the show. But anyway, this is really the closest we've seen Mike, an approximation to an actual like relationship.
Yeah, the most intimate with a female, I think,
Yeah,
ever that we've seen.
the
Maybe
most
even more
real.
intimate than Evelyn.
Yeah. And he hasn't really been lying to her a lot. He hasn't,
No.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and he tried to push her away before, remember? He was
Hmm.
like, just stay away from what's going on. And then she kind of came back and wanted to be a part of it.
Hmm.
So I really buy this.
Hmm.
I really do. I buy this relationship and I really like her. Again, very good casting
Yeah, she's great.
because she's great. She's also gorgeous, but she's also has a way about her that you could believe she's working in the prison, right?
Hmm.
Like sometimes you can't get away with that. You're like, maybe, because I don't know. In the beginning, I have to admit, I was like, did they cast this too pretty?
No, I think she gives a good, she's tough.
You
She
know?
gives this attitude
Yeah,
of I've seen some shit in my days and I've been through shit and she
she does.
portrays that amazingly.
She does. She has that depth to her, which
Hmm.
is makes her even sexier. And Mike is like, I got another How
Country
about he
Road.
was like, I should have brought three hockey sticks, right?
That was funny. Maybe I should have brought another stick, I think is what
It's
he
like,
said.
yeah, you did, Mike.
You
Pee
did,
your
Mike. You
pants.
just the
Yeah.
cold might be shriveling it.
Back at the police station, Stevie and Ian are talking about how fucked up it was when the guy tried to kill Moses. Ian is shaken up by it. We don't get a lot of Stevie this episode. Mike calls him. They go meet out in front of the police station. Basically, this conversation is Mike just telling Ian to keep Moses there as long as he can. But I think it does highlight Ian. And I don't know. I'm really loving Ian this season too. He's doing a lot in each scene where I'm never feel I'm he's got his own thoughts going on when Mike
Yeah.
keeps barking orders at him.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wonder how.
Ian.
Go ahead, Solo.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Ian is doing things more for him and what he needs to do before he's just kind of more the team. But as
Hmm.
the team is starting to, you know, move away from each other, I feel like now he's like, my ass is on the line with Evelyn. I need to do what I need to do
Yeah.
and try to help, and he has to make a choice that we'll talk about later.
Yeah,
We will.
his not just how his great his acting is. Like I said, the character is doing so many things this episode, or this episode too, but this season. And
He
Solo's right; he's
is.
looking out for himself way more than. I mean, I think what happens at the end. I think he does do that more for Mike than for him. But yeah, it's Ian is.
Yeah.
This is. I think this might be his strongest season that he's had as a
Yeah.
If
character.
Yeah, definitely. They're giving him a lot more to do. What were you going to say, Solo?
Oh no, just like yeah, it started kind of with the Lem thing with the serial killer
Hmm.
and that storyline, and then it's really picked up, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm glad because I don't know, Ian might be the best character on the show, and
Yeah.
I mean I love Mike McCluskey, I love my boy Renner, but I'm gravitating more to
I
Eon.
love Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen,
I always
uh,
have, but just this season more.
the second dream to the Bunny Mike prequel is the Ian is like the White Shadow, but with Ian as a hockey coach. The Cold Shadow, they'll call it or
The
something,
cold
right?
shadow, the ice
And
shadow.
Ian is just like bringing these kids up. He's a cop, right? He leaves Kingstown finally, but and he's like he's gonna go clean. He says, "How can I do it? I'm just gonna dedicate myself to kids." You know what I'm saying? And then like, but
Keeping
then he
him out of
gets
juvie.
but then he gets involved because one of the kids has a dad who's involved, and then he's got to get a. You know what I'm saying? We're writing this
Oh
already.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do
this
it.
was perfect.
I would really like to see more Hugh Dillon on my TV, and I would love to see him headlining something. I really would. I think that would be awesome.
I think we will
He
at this point. Maybe
definitely,
not a headliner, but we're going to see a lot more of him after this is over.
yeah. I have to say, his band, what do they call it again? Headstones, I think is the name of the band. They're
I'm not
Canadian.
sure. Okay.
They're huge. They're like a huge. I follow him on the Facebook and his band, and like they're a huge band. They have a very large following.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool to be able to have a big band like that and be an act. A lot of actors and actors try to pull that off, but
Hmm.
few can do it. And it
My
seems like
friend,
he's really doing
the
it.
guy on your wall, Tim Russ, behind you, he has a band too. He plays all over
Really?
the country. Yeah.
See, it goes. Dude, do you know how? Do you know that Michael C. Hall has a band?
The Dexters? Yeah, I love that band.
No, he really has a
No,
band.
I know. I was just making. I
Yeah,
was
like
just
they're pretty
giving
big
them a name.
too. He travels all over the
That's
world
Michael Shannon's band is playing in the Twin
doing.
Cities here, like in the next month or so. His
Yeah, he goes
REM
around the
tribute
world
band.
doing
But the
aria.
most
Yeah,
famous one's got to be Dog Star with Keanu,
yeah,
right?
Dog Star.
And the Bacon Brothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Bacon Brothers. That's
The
right.
Bacon Brothers. There's so Juliette Lewis has a band.
Hmm.
I can't. It's. I mean, it does go hand in hand, right? Because acting, lead singer really is
That's still
acting.
performing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
performing.
And
It's
if you're blessed with a great voice or music,
yeah.
you played an instrument, it's another creative way. And hey,
Hold on a second, Ando. Are we trying to convince Solo to have a band? Is that what this is really about?
I think
God,
so. I think so.
Okay, I'll play.
not in Portland would be the band name,
No,
definitely.
I don't play anything. I just dance on stage. I'm the dancer. I'm just on
Okay.
stage dancing.
We want
Perfect.
people to come to the shows, Axel, not scare them away.
There was one time, I'm sorry, it was karaoke. Me and my buddy Aaron were singing uh Creep by Radiohead,
Yeah.
but he was singing it like what is Andy Kaufman's alter ego?
Oh,
The the lounge.
Latka.
No,
Latka.
the other
Oh,
the
the
one
lounge. Oh.
Tony Clifton.
Tony
Tony
Clifton.
he was
Yes.
sounding like Tony Clifton, and then my buddy Abby and Miles come in the back and start dancing. I had no idea.
Oh
It
man.
was just like a magical
Yes.
moment after three straight shots of vodka,
Yeah.
but that was a fun
Um,
time.
I will admit, and I think I've told you guys this
Oh, but
before, that I sang "The Greatest Love of All" in front of a lot of people. And I can't remember what I was in a costume of. I think I was wearing like a pig or like a cow. I don't know what I was wearing. It was some kind of big costume that they got for me. And I just started singing. And then at the end, I took it off and yeah, it's
You were
fun.
the mass singer before the mass singer was a thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was. All right, let's get back.
Yeah,
This
I
is what
know.
happens when we record on a Saturday.
I
Yeah.
know. I
Um,
know.
so Mike tells Ian to keep Moses there as long as he can. Because remember, it was like a catch and hold kind of thing, whereas he told Moses that you were going to be in through the front door, out through the back door, right?
Hmm.
Which is kind of crazy too that he's still there. Like he went through somebody trying to kill him, and he has to go be put in a cell or a holding room like overnight.
Yeah, but they could easily say that it's for your protection. We don't know what's happening here. I
Right.
mean,
Which is what he tells him.
yeah.
He tells him to tell him that I told you to do it. You can say I did it.
There's
Um,
some funny lines here that I'm gonna try and remember. So next time somebody says something to me where Ian turns to him and he's to Mike and he's like, "What's that look for?" And he's like, "It's my fucking face." I
Yes,
just
I've said that. I've said that
I've
because
got to remember that.
naturally like especially when I was bartending, people always thought I was upset and mean. I'm like, that's how I look. Give me a
so
break.
I have to
My
say, I have
face.
to, you know what? I have to admit, after switching to YouTube, Andy and I generally are smiling like 98% of the time when we're on, and Solo is like this most of the time.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the heck
Like
you guys are
yeah,
saying.
that's what he's looking. That's how he looks. Doesn't
That's
Andy?
how
Am
I
I
look.
right or am I wrong, Andy? Am
That's
I
how I
right?
look.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Andy, like most of the time, Andy and I are like two fools just smiling the whole time. Like I look back at the video, and if you scroll,
Yeah.
it's like me and Andy are like, ha 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 ha. And Solo's like, what the fuck are these guys saying?
No, that's definitely not what's going through my head. There's a lot of things going
I
on in that
know,
head,
I
but
know. Pick up the phone, Solo. All right, um, so Mike is on a mission, of course. he comes driving up in front of the prison, and we're getting some great shots of the prison too, man. Beautiful shots off the
Yeah.
water. This was a great conversation because Hobbs basically admits it. Yeah, Mike, I fucking set you up, but I have people that I have to make happy too. They were going to take out Moses. Yeah, we knew that. And Mike basically is kind of like, it was an interesting conversation because Mike is kind of like, and she says, well, don't, Kyle's alive. You got what you needed. And Mike is basically just like, well, just let me know what's going on next time. You know what I mean? Like you could have at least told me that they were going to try to take out Moses.
Yeah, next time
in
you're
the police
playing chess,
station.
let me know you're fucking playing.
Yeah.
I think this is exact
Yeah,
line.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great
Which I
one.
love that. That's why
Yeah.
this show is so awesome. Because you think you'd be like, what the fuck? But he's like, no, just fucking tell me.
Yeah.
We could have
Oh,
worked
that was
this
a good
out.
Mike McCluskey. I like that.
Mike. Next, we get a really sad scene with Robert sitting on a bench watching his kid climb while his wife, who looks freaking horrified and scared as hell to even be around him.
And he's hungover and drunk at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, this was fucked up.
Did you catch that line about the scope
Yeah.
isn't covering?
Yeah, you
yeah.
sure the
I knew
scope's
you
not
would.
covering?
I knew you
Yeah,
would.
of
I
course.
rewound that. I'm like, is that what I heard? I'm like, I
Uh-huh.
heard scope
Yeah.
used.
And that's why he says, when you come back, that's going to fix that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, yeah, but that we had that problem before, you crazy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Oof.
Mike meets up with Evelyn Foley.
Hey, you got it.
And
There you go.
finally, the thing that happens in this is he finally offers her up what they had been talking about earlier, what we had been kind of talking about too. His big get is he's offering her up Frank. I'm gonna give you Frank fucking Moses. What'd you think about this, Solo?
You know, I was watching Evelyn's reaction to it, is what I really wanted. And you could tell that the actress, she played it perfectly. Her face like gets like Solo on the pod, like thinking. And then she's like in her head weighing like, holy crap, this is huge. I still want Robert. I still Ian, but she's
Yeah.
like, is this real, Mike? Like, am I gonna give everything up? And don't, I mean, she's going through this. So I wonder if, I mean, did you feel the fact that if Mike can pull this off, she'll be like, because he wants to get Kyle out of the prison, which is smart
Yeah.
because we may lose Kyle if he doesn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was like, okay, I guess Evelyn knows who Frank Moses is. He's a name that everyone knows. He's a
Mhm.
big get. That would be kind of like, yeah, I think that would be a smart move for Evelyn and her safety.
And
I
she
mean, I know
said
it's Frank
things-
Moses, but
She's said things before about how she wants to get the biggest fish she possibly can and everything.
Right,
So it
right.
would fit perfectly with. The other question I had here is she tells him about the missing witness. I think this is the first time Mike has heard about that too. I don't think Ian did. Did Ian tell him last
he
week?
told Ian, didn't he tell Ian to take care of it, but didn't know what he was going to do? Or
Yeah, I don't know if Mike
Yeah.
actually knows he's missing. I can't remember.
I think that was just as when he says we can't protect Robert anymore later, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that that's a code word for do what you
And
need to do.
I might be
Stop fucking
forgetting-
with her.
Ian might have told him that too last
Yeah.
episode. I can't remember, but
No, I think you're right.
because
I
she
think
definitely
you're right.
mentions it that the witness is missing, and did
Yeah.
you have something to do with it, or is he dead, or
I believe this is the first time Mike hears of it, but I don't. But based on his reaction,
yeah, he no
He's
sold it.
not
I mean, it's
surprised.
yeah,
well, Ian goes, I'll take care of it, right? Is that
Mhm.
what,
Yeah.
I mean, he said it one
Yep.
episode or something along those lines. So he knows. I mean, he basically told Ian,
yeah,
told him they have a witness. It wasn't for just
Yeah,
Sunday
that's
brunch
true.
just to discuss. It was
You're
get
right.
the shit done.
Mhm.
But I think you're right where Mike technically doesn't want to know probably
Yeah,
or doesn't
that's-
know yet. They haven't communicated that.
he doesn't know that Robert fucking shot him in the
Oh, they don't.
throat.
Yeah, they don't
yeah,
know.
oh
they
yeah, definitely
killed
don't know
him.
that.
He
doesn't
definitely
know,
doesn't
and
know
nobody
that.
knows about that. And the car thing makes more sense now that they switched because they wanted it to look
Yeah.
like he ran away.
Mhm.
More so, it leaves it ambiguous, whereas even Mike can think to himself. It's like
And
keep the president out of the loop kind of
I
thing.
also
Right,
kind of
right.
wonder if Ian is going to now try and pin the missing witness on Robert.
Very well.
Oh,
that
good
would
call,
get
Andrew.
he
job.
would get Ian. It would
Good
get him
job.
out of
Yeah.
that.
He was desperate.
Hmm.
And it makes Evelyn, and also he dropped the brick on Evelyn too.
Hmm.
He could really set Robert up for a lot of shit, which could help her out. It could help Kyle out. It could help
Yep.
Mike out.
Hmm. He could be the
Um,
hero basically of
yeah.
this
Help
season.
himself.
Yep.
And I think this is interesting because this is where Mike also says something to her like, "You want to be governor? You want to be?"
Yeah,
He
governor,
doesn't.
senator, I can
Yeah,
wrap you a whale,
interesting,
is what he says. Yeah.
interesting.
Well, of a
Because
huge
Yeah.
bust like that would let, I mean, that's what happens all the
yeah,
time with that kind of stuff. They run for whatever, secretary of whatever, or they governor
Do
or
you
congressman or,
think, guys, him bringing that to Evelyn, because knowing that that's something she wants, do you think that was something he always held in his back pocket if he had to use it, or was it something where you
probably,
think
yeah.
he was thinking of it at the
He
time?
knows,
He
yes,
knows.
because
Yeah.
he knows how ambitious she is.
hmm
Okay. Right.
And that's why she's fucking doing this.
yeah.
Because she's ambitious, but also because she had, like him, she's a shark and she's just got to keep churning, man, you
Hmm.
know?
There's
So,
another thing. So Kyle's in prison to protect everyone. Okay. Now, if Mike thinks Robert, he doesn't know it, but if Robert was out of the picture, then he's like, Kyle can get out of prison. We wouldn't have to worry about Robert flipping.
yeah,
He
Hmm.
trusts
yeah.
Ian. So like, but he doesn't know yet that Ian
Yeah.
It
did this
changes
thing.
Robert
everything.
being gone, that's a
Solves a
gonna,
lot
It's
of
going to
yeah,
change
stuff.
everything.
it fixes a
Yeah,
lot of things if they
Fixes
play
a
it
totally.
right.
lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, they could just blame everything on him, and
Yep.
then Evelyn can also. It's kind of a win for her because it proves that he was unstable in
Hmm.
some way, right? I think it could be a win for everyone except Ian, as we'll see.
And accept the
Um,
family, because would she get
Yeah.
his
That's what I
benefits?
was gonna say. That would be the only thing that
yeah,
would stop him because he probably would be disqualified from any benefits on that doing.
that's that is a really interesting point, Solo. I had not thought of
Hmm.
that, and that has been brought up on this show before. So I think that that's almost we'll get to it. I think that's
Maybe they will make it
purposeful.
right, but
I
yeah,
don't know
with the
about that.
family.
I think that was
Not with the
I think
family?
that might be purposeful. But
With
no, no, you're right.
no,
You're right. You're
I meant
right.
with the
Yeah, yeah,
family,
yeah. With
maybe
the
they could.
family, totally,
Yeah.
Yeah. Not with
totally,
Robert, not with it.
totally. Because it makes it more embarrassing for him that it can't be official, but then Mike can work it out on
Yeah.
the side or Ian with the cops, you know?
Hmm.
They'll just like pull some people over and steal their wallets or something. I don't know. So then we get, okay, this is a crazy scene, and this is ramping up too. Fucking Breen, this motherfucker, he's with Cindy. They're bringing this guy in who somehow knows that Breen likes to jack off in his car and rape women and be disgusting. It's gotten around the jail, right? So he's dogging him on it. And so he just knocks his head against the bars 4 or 5 times until he looks like he has a more than a mild concussion. Looks like Jackson Dart getting hit on the sideline. And Cindy is watching this whole fucking thing. That was crazy. We might as well just mention the next scene with him and Cindy neck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
we jump to them a little later, and Breen like sits down with her during lunch and starts to he kind of admits like he's like stories get around and people think you're jerking off in your car
People think
outside
they
when you
know
are.
everything, and
Yeah,
yeah, the
and they
whole
do, right? He's and she handles this very well, right?
Yeah.
She kind of mothers him a little bit, or she kind of like empathizes
yep.
with him, you know. But when
But then
she
she still
walks,
hightails it out of there pretty
yes,
damn quick.
yes. And then when she walks off, he's doing like a Lenny talking to himself,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Stupid, stupid. I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Now,
Eon. He's the new Eon.
now with Breen, I mean, he calls great basketball games.
Yes, he does.
But so now, what is his play at this point? Is he, because at first I'm thinking he's involved with maybe Tracy or whatever, but then Kyle also does the mirror and sees
Yep.
him, and
Good
I
one.
cannot remember if he knows who he is or not. I know we bring this up. Do we remember? Because I
No,
know
I do
Mike.
not.
No.
No, Mike knows. Kyle does not.
Yeah,
Okay,
and Tracy, no, I mean, and because Mike went to Tracy and said, "Don't tell him."
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. I
Kyle
just wanted
does
to make
not know
sure
who
like
this
Kyle
is.
didn't find out because I
Yeah.
was thinking when he was looking at the mirror at him, would he be like, wait a minute, I know who that fucker is.
So was
Yeah.
I.
But
That's exactly
yeah,
what I was thinking.
He might put
um,
it together though. I mean, because he knows that Tracy worked there and knows
oh, that's a good point. That's a good point too. So,
or
because
knows something.
I'm like,
Yeah.
does Kyle take him out? Does he try something on Cindy? I don't think Breen is gonna succeed at whatever he's gonna
Well,
do.
and I think the thing with Breen, I think he's like a wild card because he's not really, I don't think he's affiliated with anyone, but I think he's going to do something stupid. And it just depends on who he
Yeah,
does it to. If he does it to
I
Hobbs or he does it to Kevin or he does it to Merle or he
yeah,
does it
that's a
to
great.
Cindy or whatever. So I think
yeah,
he's the true wild card this season. We
yeah.
don't
You're
know what
right
he's
because
going to do.
he could kill someone for our team or
Hmm.
try
Yes.
to kill someone on our
That's
team.
Yeah.
So he is that
yeah.
wild card.
And
That's a
it's like
great.
if
That's
somebody say Raph says the wrong thing to him and he beats the shit out of Raph, or I mean, we have no idea what it's such a wild card to me that
Andy. You're totally
He's
right,
freaking
man.
on. Ando's on
You're
to it.
it's he's
Solo
he
comes back and muffles and mumbles, and Andy picks up the slack.
I think that you're right. He is almost like a writing device. He is available he's a plot device that's available to inject into any
deploy into anything. Yeah.
situation to kind
Perfect.
of push this story along or go in a different way.
Right.
My great fear here is that I wouldn't say my great fear. I mean, I hope that he doesn't hurt Cindy. That would be the great fear. But when I was worried when Mike was given the hockey sticks that we were going to get a peeky poo and see someone in a car. Uh-oh, who is it? It's Breen. He's stalking her and he sees Mike there and he gets really pissed off
That's
because
that's. I was there too. I was there too.
that's my fear is that he's going to see them two together,
The other
at a
the other thought
bar, at
I
something.
other thought I had about a possibility for Breen is that he does do something stupid to one of the guards or something, and Torres sells him out. When Sicario goes to talk to Torres later, he says Breen is the guy that caused this
Oh, I
to
like
happen. So
that. I
Breen could
like
also
that.
be a
I like
potential
that. I
fall
like
guy.
that.
Fucking,
Okay,
fucking
that's cool.
Ando's right in the show.
That's good. I like this. This is fun. All right. So next we get to an man, the prison's got a lot of sad stories, and one of them is Kevin. Kevin's trying to figure out when the shipment's coming in. He gets caught
I loved this
by
scene.
this.
I
This is
really love
great.
this scene. Yes.
This is great writing and casting and just adding a little bit of life and reality into it. The way she's like, I'm no more than 5 years older
Yeah.
than you, miss.
Yeah.
And I really liked her. I hope
Don't man me. Yeah.
don't man, but you know what it does is see something subtle like that makes us like it's like a spark of a future that Kevin could have, right? Like here he is flirting with this woman he just met. He's a nice guy. People like him. He's a
That's
Yeah.
why
good kid.
that's
They
like
don't
I really,
suspect
yeah.
Yeah.
him to
Yeah.
do be.
Well, and
It's
this
sad.
he actually was confident and charming. This like he
Yeah.
actually was like it felt like this like I said, it felt like this is something he can actually do and he can succeed at being this type of role. And like Mike actually complimenting him, where like I think we said that a couple episodes ago that Mike actually
Yeah.
saying good job, and he was never getting that from Bunny. And I think Kevin's actually growing into the role a little bit more. I think now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because
an
Rafe
interesting point,
scared him off.
Andy.
Rafe
Hmm.
was
Oh,
scaring
okay.
him, and
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because
See,
yeah,
I
Raph was going after. Yeah, it's right.
I see. I was seeing it. That's very interesting because I was kind of seeing it the other way, which is I'm totally always worried about Kevin. So anytime they
like you are
show us
Brett
like,
when he
yeah,
drives.
exactly, just like
Yeah.
Brad, I need him to check in with me. I want to just text me, Kevin. Just tell me you're okay. I'm
Yeah.
worried about Kevin because I like him, and so
Kevin is
when
the
they
new Brett.
show a life of him, like it makes me want him to succeed and be okay. And then he goes into the. This was kind of interesting. He like covers his mouth and he like makes himself throw up in front of
Oh my
everybody.
Yeah,
God.
that's what I mean. Is
So
like
yeah,
he had a plan, he executed it, and even
yeah, you're right.
when she is like, "What the fuck are you doing here? What are you snooping around for?" and he comes up with a story right like that, like hasn't been shown to be this competent really by himself, thinking up
No,
like on the fly. That's why I really love this scene. I thought it was great for
yeah,
Kevin.
Yeah.
definitely. Um, so basically, Kevin is on his way out to tell Mike what's up. I like Torres yelling at everybody too. It's kind of establishing him as a prick. People want a reason not to like him. Mike and Moses meet finally in the jail. Moses is pissed the fuck off, but Mike turns this anger very intelligently, very astutely, turns Moses' anger towards the Colombians, right? And
Right.
he's like, let's hit them first, and then we'll kill them all, right? We're going to set them up. He's rah-rahing them up. And Moses seems to fall for it. Moses really seems to respect Mike. Do you guys buy that? Am I being fooled? But it seems to me that Moses actually.
I didn't think he was really buying it that much, but
Okay,
that was just
what
how
did
I
you
read it.
think? Based on
You
what
know,
happened, I don't know.
I don't know because Mike is his he can't get on Mike's bad side because Mike does have some power here. And but I can't figure Moses out. He's the
Me
one I'm
neither.
struggling with
Me
because
too,
I don't
Solo.
know. I really don't know.
I don't either.
Some of that with me is the conversation he has with LJ later. And he's like,
Yes.
we're going to
Yeah.
burn all these motherfuckers to the ground or whatever. He says something like that. And I'm like, is he talking about the Colombians? Mike? Both? Bunny? I mean, we
Yeah.
still know that he still has Lamar working for him. And so he obviously, what the hit on Bunny was correct, I think. That was him, or the attempt on Bunny.
I don't know.
That's,
You know
I'm,
what, Andy? I don't know if I agree with that because when LJ says, "Do you trust him?" I think what LJ is saying is like, "Did he sell Bunny out?" I don't. I'm not quite. I'm still maybe. Listen, this show is a rare show. They do a lot of trickery on this show and a lot of red herring stuff. We've been
mhm.
watching it long enough to know that. I mean, how many times Miles is dead? No, he's alive. That's the greatest example. They've got me on Moses.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It
I
could go either
don't
way
know.
for sure.
And it's
Because
the
I
actor. He's such a great actor.
I
Yeah.
took it too as okay, at first I'm like, do you trust him? Like, oh, wait a minute. But then it's like because he was Frank's plant and he did execute that, do you trust him
Exactly.
further
Yes.
to
Mm,
bring him
Yeah.
in closer? So I don't know
Yeah.
which one, that
yeah.
seems ugh.
That's why. And the weird thing about it is that the scene starts with LJ getting out of his truck and getting there,
Hmm.
right? So that to me is like a signal that we're concentrating on him, not on Frank.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Lamar. Lamar, I
Lamar.
apologize. So
Yep.
they show Lamar getting out of the truck. We're
Right,
not
right.
concentrating on LJ and Frank. So that to me shows that in the scene, we're really supposed to be following him along in a sense, like he's got some kind of power or that emphasis is on him. So when LJ said that, I felt yeah, like you're saying. So is he saying, do we want a double crosser in our midst? We already know he's willing to sell out
Yeah.
somebody. Or is he saying, wait a second, maybe he fucking let Bunny get shot? So I don't know yet. That's where I am. Andy,
Hmm.
do you know? Do you are you
No,
Yeah, come on. Dando's hot right now. He should let us
no,
know.
I still think I don't trust Moses at all. I don't think
okay?
is
Okay.
buying into Mike. I think I could still see it going either way because like what you guys are saying, I can't say no, 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 that's not possible because it
Yep.
definitely is. My feeling, my gut feeling is that Moses wants Bunny and Mike eliminated.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. But
Okay.
that's just my gut
I
feeling
buy
from
it.
watching it.
I totally buy it. And this is why I don't live the criminal life. I just watch it on TV. Um, Next up, we get one of my favorite scenes of the season where Robert is watching The Dog Whisperer. I love The Dog Whisperer. It's one of my favorite shows. It taught me how to help be with my dog and train my dog. Caesar is the best. I love The Dog Whisperer. But anyway, I appreciate thematic, well, I guess not thematic. I appreciate how in Robert's last episode, we're returning to the scenes of him and Ian previously and almost like revisiting them. And it also shows, I think, how this is going to affect Ian. I think that's why these scenes are here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, the most important part of this scene is that Robert basically proposes that they take Mike out.
Well, yeah,
And this is,
he literally says if Mike passes, then so do all of the problems in this town.
yeah.
Like you
So,
can't get more obvious than that.
and I wasn't sure which way Ian was going to go.
I wasn't sure
Yeah.
either.
Yep.
But
I wasn't either.
I think Ian finally is like, wait a minute, if you pass Robert, a lot of
Yeah,
these problems go
it's a lot
away.
easier.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot easier. Mike still has people who would avenge him, I think, if
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
could take it out. I mean, I don't know. Bunny, I still think Bunny would do something if he found out who killed Mike.
Oh
Oh
Like
yeah,
yeah.
I do have faith
yeah,
that Bunny would be like, you know what? I don't care if you're a cop.
yep.
And what does that solve too? Because that's really going to solve everything. Because what Ian would probably retort is like, well, then what the fuck are we going to take care of all these problems and be the mayor?
Yeah.
Like
See,
Mike is,
Roberts only is thinking
Yeah,
one way.
Mike
he's
does a
so
lot of
far
shit.
gone when people get to
He's
that
so
point
yeah.
and he's found his scapegoat and his scapegoat is Mike and there's nothing that's going to
Yep.
be done that
Yep.
will change
Yeah,
it. I mean, everyone
true.
has known people like that in the past where maybe not somebody that's to the point of killing someone, but
Yeah.
there's always people that they just focus on one person. That's the cause of all my problems. If he was gone, everything would be fine. And Robert's just gone.
I
It's just
think,
with Robert. Oh, I'm sorry, X.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just the one thing with Robert, I mean, is when he always brings up how much he's done for them, it's kind of like you kind of feel for him there, but
Yeah.
then he's made a lot of dumb decisions on his
Yeah.
own.
He also never
So
admits that any mistakes that he has made.
he
Every
doesn't. He
single thing
doesn't.
he
There's
said, I did
there's
this for
everyone
you, and
has
like
fault.
some of that stuff, yeah, you kind of did, but you also took it way too far, and you also
And
did a
you
few
enjoy
extra.
it,
Yeah,
brother. He
it's like
enjoys it.
He
you're
loves
not
it.
the
He
hero
loves
in
it.
this story,
He
pal.
loves
Is
it.
what I
No,
want to tell him. But
no. Yeah, great scene. And really, I guess the last scene that Robert has where he's not totally wasted.
I think he
Great
was pretty
acting.
wasted in that scene too, though. I think wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was right, not totally though. He was
I
at
think the
least for
only time he
talking.
hasn't been totally wasted was that in this season was that scene where he confronts Evelyn at the courthouse.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
that might
true.
have been the one sober.
Yeah,
See,
that's
All right, so we're gonna pick up on that. Obviously, next up, Mike meets up with Kevin. Kevin explains to Mike the situation he's in. He's scared of all sides. He's scared Bunny's going to find out that Hobbs knows he was in on the shit last year. He's scared that Hobbs is going to find out that he's still working with Bunny and he's talking about finding out information about the delivery. And Mike says,
he brings up the grenade
yeah,
attack
he's going to
again
help
too,
him.
that he gave the
Yeah,
nod that Hobbs knows
that's what I'm
about that.
talking
And
about. He did.
yeah,
Yep.
I hadn't thought about that in a while, but that was a good reminder of that. Hobbs knows that.
Yeah. Well, that was the first scene, right?
Yeah.
Remember in the season, we see
Hmm.
her. She walks up to him and stakes her claim.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Mike says he's going to help Kevin. I don't think he will. I think this might be the thing that maybe sets Mike off thinking about things in a different way, but I always fear for Kevin's life.
yeah, the
Um,
intention's there, but Mike's got bigger. Honestly, he's got bigger
Well, and
things to
with us
fry.
seeing Hobbs looking at all the videotape, they're probably going to find a tape of him seeing the delivery a couple episodes ago when he saw the
yeah,
delivery,
definitely.
and
Of
he's going to be the
course.
one that he's probably
He's
like when I said Breen might be the scapegoat, it's much more likely to be Kevin as the guy that gets taken out as
Oh
the
no, we'll get yes.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
they
I'm really
both
worried
might.
about because
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's the person she's going to have a conversation
Does
with.
Breen take out Kevin for Hobbs?
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of
don't
stuff
know.
here, I think.
I don't know. We got
First
that in
up,
the water.
though, before that happens, we see Big Merle riding. His country road leads right to the kitchen. So he arrives back in Gen Pop at the kitchen. I do think it's kind of funny that all the white guys work in the kitchen. And they welcome him back. One guy kind of tries to hug him, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
He's like, "Get away from me, dude!" But then he hugs the big guy, right?
yeah,
He
Big
hugs
Red,
Peter.
yeah.
Big
Yeah, he
red.
hugs him. Um, we talked about the next scene with Breen trying to explain his crazy ass self. Um, then we get another hockey scene. This is the spin-off we all want. Ian at the hockey rink says, "Remember what I told you the other day?" And the kid says, "You mean fuck it?" or
Yeah,
something.
that
He
was great.
goes,
Fuck it.
Dude,
he goes,
doesn't he look the part on the skates? He looks like a hockey player, a hockey coach.
"He's
It's
so
perfect.
good.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
He's
sure
a
he
good
played in his
skater."
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Mike comes in, they have a convo. This is interesting. He kind of blames Homeland Security for letting the guy who tried to take Moses out. He's like, they
Yeah,
fucking let him
yeah.
back in the country.
Yeah,
These,
they had his prince and they had him and they let him
yeah,
go. Oh, yeah, it was
that
funny.
was a little commentary. Um, Mike tells him that Kyle won't talk to him, which is kind of an interesting omission. It shows like kind of, I guess, the closeness that Ian and Mike have, that he kind of admits that to him. He's like, well,
Hmm.
Kyle won't talk to me, but I understand what's going on with him, you know? And then he basically lays out the plan, right? We're going to set up Frank Moses. We're going to knock him down. And
I did
that's
like
what we're
one
going
of
to
the
do.
questions Ian asked him before he even talks about Robert is like, "Are we happy Moses is alive, or what the fuck?" Like he actually asked Mike, "Is like,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it a good thing he's alive or a bad thing? What's happening here?" I
Well, I
love that
think
when they
that goes
actually.
back to what I was saying before, which is that Ian knows his place,
Hmm.
right? He doesn't want to be Mike.
No, God
He
no.
wants to be a cop. He wants to do his job. He wants to, he likes these shenanigans, obviously, but he doesn't want to be the man in power here,
Hmm.
calling. He doesn't want to be the shot caller.
Hmm.
So he always asks Mike what we're doing next, right? He's always saying that. What are we doing now, Mike?
And I thought it was interesting too, right after when he talks about Robert and Mike kind of to me it seemed like Mike was kind of waving it off, like, oh, it's no big deal. And Ian was like, we got a goddamn problem with Robert. And like
Yeah.
and he still wasn't listening to him. And I'm like, he was basically telling him what Robert was gonna try and do. And
Yeah.
Mike was just kind of like, nah, it's fine. I mean, it's probably not going to matter at this point. We'll talk about later, obviously. But I don't know. I thought this conversation was great before we even get to the Moses stuff that he talks about here.
But at the end though, Ando, he does look him straight in the eye
Yeah.
and he says, we can't look after him anymore.
Hmm.
And that means take him out,
Well,
right? Don't you? Isn't that what
I don't
Mike's saying
know.
to him? Mike's saying we can't look after him anymore.
I wasn't sure.
It
I guess
has
I'd
to
go ahead.
it
Sorry.
has to be because if they just let Robert do his thing and not worry about him anymore,
Yeah,
he's gonna bring them down. So it's gotta be.
exactly. He's
You're
going to start
probably right.
killing
I guess
people.
I didn't think of it like that, but you guys are probably right there.
And I think that Mike in his head still thinks that it's Robert that threw the brick on her. He doesn't know that it's Ian. Only Stevie knows that.
Forgot about that.
Right.
So I think Mike is saying to him, take him the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, or, let him take himself out. Or I don't, make
Hmm.
it look like that.
Or
That's what I got from it.
yeah.
Yep.
So what happened next was not a surprise to me.
Yep.
Um, all right, we already talked a little bit about this conversation, which was kind of fun, where Moses and LJ are hanging out, smoking cigars. We talked about the part about Lamar. The interesting part too is they talk about eminent domain in their old neighborhood, Black
Yeah,
Bottom.
that was interesting.
It was an interesting conversation.
Men who couldn't
Because,
fight back were getting their stuff taken. Yeah, it was. I thought that
yeah,
was interesting too.
I did not have a chance to look this up, but I wonder if this is some sort of history lesson of the Detroit area that we don't know about. I don't know if there is a Black Bottom section of Detroit. Just as in, remember The Watchmen, we learned about Black Wall Street. That was an opportunity for people to learn about that. Perhaps they're trying to
Well,
teach us
this is
something
when
here.
the first thing when I look it up, the AI says Black Bottom was a vibrant, predominantly black neighborhood in Detroit, famous for its rich culture, thriving black businesses, but it was largely demolished in the late 50s and early 60s for urban renewal projects,
There you go.
primarily
Oh
There you
for
wow.
go.
construction of I-375 freeway in Lafayette Park,
See?
displacing thousands and erasing a significant part of
Yeah.
Detroit's African American history.
This is the season of Eon. This is the episode of Ando. Ando is on fire.
Hey, I want to give props to the writers for including that because we just learned a little bit about history there. And that's
Hmm.
interesting because you see, I like there's something to be said for the evolution of the gangster, right?
Mhm.
Be it through the mafia, black mafia, whatever, where Frank is staying legitimate on one side, right? Like he's built his business like this because he learned from what was taken from him through legitimate means,
Hmm.
right? Like his area wasn't taken over by a bunch of people like going through and burning it down, which is I
Yeah.
think what happened in Black Wall Street. In this case, it was eminent domain was used against the people
Yeah.
to take their
Legal
property away
legal
from
means
them
were
by
used. Yeah.
legal means. Yes,
Hmm.
I think that's very interesting, and that makes you think. And that's
That
kudos.
probably that whole thing is probably what set his mind into a different direction.
Yep.
Yeah,
How he structured
yeah,
his criminal and business life, and
exactly.
there's always something usually in life, something either it's tragedy or learning experience, that we start focusing, using that and focusing, so happens all
Yeah,
the time. So that must be the
that was
big
cool.
trigger for him.
Yeah, I like that. Kudos. That feels like a season one lesson in the ladies' prison, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
We got a little bit more of that in season one. But then it ends with a conversation about how they're going to kill all these motherfuckers.
Yeah. We ain't teaching shit. This here is about leaving scars. Man, that he is such an awesome actor. Man, Frank
Dude,
Moses
Yeah.
is great.
Lenny
Um,
James,
Yeah,
all
man.
he's
right, we talked
awesome.
about the hockey
So good.
sticks. We got the hockey stick scene, which was great. I like the kid too. He wasn't too against Mike, but he did give him the hockey sticks back
He's
and
got
walk
Yeah.
it.
away.
Good for the kid. He's
Hmm.
Yeah.
protecting his mom. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
He,
That's
he
And
true.
doesn't
she
know
says
he
that
doesn't
kids
know
can't be
Mike like we
bought.
do.
Yeah.
I say, kids, stay the fuck out. Your mom wants to get laid, all right? Just go watch some TV. All right?
Yeah, he's a. I
She's a
mean,
person too.
yeah,
I
he's a
like the kid
teenager
though.
though.
He's still got to be protective of
No,
your
He's a
mom.
good kid. Yeah, he's a good
yeah.
kid. He's seen shit. He's seen
Hmm.
shit that we don't know about.
That was one of the
Um,
sweeter scenes I think we've ever had in this show too.
it was.
It was kind of sad, but it was very sweet,
Andy,
I thought.
no, but this to
Huh.
me is the same thing with Kevin, right? This is like you show the audience a life that this character could have.
Hmm.
Mike could be a stepdad. Say Mike left this job and he said to Cindy, "Look, I got some money stashed. We're going to Canada. We're going wherever we're going,
We're going to
right?
my cabin.
We're gonna go to my cabin. You're gonna find a little job. I'll be like a detective or a PI or something like that, or do something. And this is could be Mike's life. That's why
Hmm.
I think you have scenes like this
Hmm.
to show if Mike left it all behind,
Yep.
could he live this life?
Well, that was the
And
big theme during the Iris stuff in what
yeah,
season 2 and stuff
yeah.
Yep.
about that
That's why I
dream
love the
seeker
return
on the
of it.
boat, and yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, love it. Um, Importantly for the plot, Mike tells her to tell Kyle, I'm going to get him out through the system, right? um, so before we see Derek and the rest of Moses's guy take out the truck full of drugs, we get amazing shots of Pittsburgh again. They are taking, man, these drone shots, these shots are, Pittsburgh's beautiful. I said this to A Hustle. I was like, A Hustler, you left Pittsburgh. It's really beautiful, and even he admitted it is. It's very beautiful.
Wow, breaking
Yep.
news.
Breaking news. I know everyone's like, who's A Hustle? So this was fun. They shoot the guy. Then what a nice throw too of the Molotov
Yeah.
cocktail.
Oh
Whoa, right
yeah.
through. How many takes was that CGI, or how many takes did that take? Because that was a great throw.
I think Hugh Dillon was the double, because he
Oh,
goes, guys, you've done it 4 times. I'm doing it right now, and he did it.
oh,
And
but really, it was with a hockey stick.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, I'll show you how to do
Yes.
this.
Yeah. So it was a slap shot to get it there. Yeah.
So they set this thing on fire, but more importantly, they take the drugs. They don't burn
Uh-huh.
it like the Colombians did. They're like, we're taking the fucking drugs.
Well, and it's even said later when they talk about it, and they're like, "Well, we're not sure if the merchandise was taken yet, so they're going to be able to
Yeah,
find. They're going to know. I mean, they know
yeah,
who it is, obviously.
yeah, that's true. Cindy sees Kyle again. We're getting it through the security cameras, and then Cindy tells Kyle, Mike is going to try to get you out through the system. Kyle then tells Cindy, stay the fuck away from my brother. He's no good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Then he has a conversation with Tracy where he says Mike is going to help us.
Yeah, this is what I was talking later. It was so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh.
Kyle's fucked up. We talked about that. Hobbs is look. I like the cut right to the video cameras. She's nervous, man. She's popping pills.
You know,
She's shaking.
the other thought I just
Nuts
had about
story.
that is, I wonder if Kyle said that to her just to protect Cindy. Told her to stay away just so she wouldn't get involved with it, not so much that he was shitting
Sim-
on his brother.
well, that's true. Similar to what Mike did
Yeah.
earlier
Yeah.
in the season. Yeah, that's
Do
true. I
you
mean, just in a
do you
bad mood.
this might be overthinking it and maybe giving Kyle a little too much credit, but do you think by shunning out Mike and not speaking with him and stuff, he's trying to make Mike believe, oh my God, he's going the Aryan Brotherhood. I got to find a way to get him out. Like not a way without crying, get me out of here, Mike. or is that just
I don't know that he's
not
thinking that
realistic?
far ahead. I think Kyle
Okay.
is reacting more than acting, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind
how
of
I
where I'm
feel.
I think
leaning.
this
I
is
just
yeah.
wasn't
I
sure
think it's
if
another Kyle thing, like building the sheds and all that other stuff that he just doesn't know how to
Yeah.
process stuff quite
okay.
correctly.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm
Okay,
getting
that
at
makes
it.
sense. No, that's probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle. He's got to build some sheds. Hobbs looking at the video camera again. She's nervous. Torres comes in. He touches her arm. He says, "We're gonna make it through this."
That Fred Meyer.
Do you? Ooh, I love your hair. Do you think that Torres and Hobbs maybe a little smoochy doochy? Maybe it goes a little. What do you think? Or maybe it's just like mommy son kind of
Oh,
thing
whoa,
going
whoa,
on. You know?
whoa.
I
Chicka
don't know.
wow wow.
I don't know. It's just it was their relationship is
There's
interesting to me.
something there.
Yeah.
There is something there. They have
But
a
we
close.
know why that we know why this scene is here to establish her, as Mike says, her loyalties, which is what happens immediately. These three scenes in a row play out. It's like the downfall of Hobbs, right? She gets nervous. Torres comes in. Then she meets Mike down by the river. Mike tells her she's got to find someone to blame. She's worried about this. I've never lost a shipment, Mike. He says someone's got to own it. Not you, though. I didn't know who he was thinking about at this point in time. But she also really lets go of any pretense that she has any control to Mike at this point, doesn't she? She is like, I've got people to answer to. She's shaking. Mike is like, in comparison to their other conversations they've had,
Right.
even earlier in front of the prison,
Hmm.
she is like, Mike is controlling this conversation from the beginning. That's
Yeah.
how I felt
That's a
about
big
it.
change of the way she's
Yeah.
played it before. But now, I mean, now it's making sense why she has a gun compartment in her car. And
Yeah.
there's a lot like she's in deep. Like there was nothing aside from Switzerland. There was nothing like we felt like she was in control. She was the boss. And then they pull her over and kind of, Mike flexes a little bit. But now we're finding out she's answering to, and now it's like, oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So,
Um, when she walks away, Mike is almost kind of smiling. When I rewatched it, I
mhm.
noticed
He's
this.
got like some sort of grin or something, right?
Yeah, he knows he's in charge here. He knows that I think by telling her about her loyalties and everything, I think he is pointing towards Torres. He's trying to give her that idea
I think you're right.
that you want to stay in charge. You got to throw somebody to the wolves, and that's going to have to be your boy.
Yep.
And that is weakening her. And then obviously we get the next scene. She drives home. She's got a nice new condo. I was kind of looking at it. I was like, she just moved to Kingstown, so this can't be like too. And it looked pretty new when she
Yeah.
was walking through. It looked very nice though, a lot nicer than you think
Maybe
maybe
it's a
because
Frank Moses property.
yes, it was very nice, very nice. And then we get our young Sicario. He jumps out. He fucks her up, man.
Dude, he
This
throws
was,
her in that tub. That
I
scene,
know,
I was like, I felt bad. I'm like, is she really hurt in real life?
that
Edie, are you
was,
okay, Edie?
yeah,
Like that was
that.
pretty that
So I
wow.
agree. That was some real stunt work because when she went into the tub, she went like head first. It
Yeah.
was like, and kicks her in the stomach. Whenever you see a man hitting a woman, and regardless of the situation, it's always hard for me to watch.
Yeah, it's
And to
tough.
see this happen, and I understand she put herself in this situation. She's got a gun. I'm not trying to, but it's still when you see it, it hits you. And especially when a man kicks a woman in the stomach, you know what I'm saying? It just, there's something about that. And they know that when
Yeah.
they plan the scene out. A lot of this, I feel, is giving us ammunition to empathize with her, sympathize with her in some way. We see she's not as powerful now. And it also, though, opens up for Mike to be able to manipulate her, which it seems like he did without even knowing
Yeah.
what was going to happen. because she gives up
I
Torres.
know. I could not believe that when she gave up Torres that quickly. I was
Yep.
shocked.
Yep. Me too.
So
I didn't think it
is
was going to
that
happen
something
that
she
quick.
always had in her mind? Hey, like Frank Moses, this is me. I'll give up anybody to
Yep.
say my ass. And so I was shocked with that. And
Me
I'm
too.
like, well, how close is Torres with the cartel? Like that's the thing.
Yes, I wonder that too, because we assume because of ethnicity in some way that
Well,
he
we
would be,
assume,
maybe her connection to the Colombians comes through him or something
right.
like that. But that does that really even matter? I don't think it even matters to the cartel. Somebody has to pay the price. They fucked up.
Yeah, the cartel
Somebody
knows.
has to pay the price. But also, importantly, he says to her, I'm going to go visit Torres. You've got to find somebody to visit in the prison. And that person is Kevin. That's what I'm getting to. When he says, you've got somebody you've got to visit, I think he's talking about Kevin. She's got to find who else was in there
Right.
finding out information. That's what I assume. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that it's. I mean, Kevin's obviously the person she needs to find. I don't know if she knows that that's who it is at this point. That makes sense.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think she does know it's Kevin though, right? Like
You
she's
think?
been watching him.
Oh,
Torres already
yeah.
warned him. Remember, Torres threw him
That's
up
true. The
against
second
the.
phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
right.
I'm guessing that would be her number one suspect, but I don't think she knows for sure.
Okay. Yeah. She's gonna have to look at the tapes,
Yeah,
right? So that was this whole thing though. They kept us going, right? Because you knew she was gonna get jumped,
yeah. You
but
knew
they kept
something
it
bad was going
going.
to happen. Yeah,
She drinks the water. She walks up the stairs.
I
Right?
couldn't believe you guys. You guys, I had some technical difficulties there. You guys may have mentioned this already, but I couldn't believe how violent that throw into the tub was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we we,
We
we said
talked
that
about
exact
Oh,
it.
okay,
thing.
Yeah.
good. I was like,
Ando,
oh
you're on the
my
same page.
God,
Yep. Yep.
I,
yeah,
I
crazy.
I had to watch it again. I was like, that's an impressive stunt. That looks so damn real.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
Like
I like.
I was
Oh,
like
I
afraid
felt it
for
in my
Edie,
bones.
but I know
Yeah.
it's probably a stunt double.
Oh,
But
yeah. I'm
like,
sure.
I was like, Edie, don't hurt Edie.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was
Oh,
yeah, we did, Ando.
okay. That's. I just had to mention it quick because it's
No,
insane.
yeah,
Then we have this really action-packed, violent, shocking scene, followed by kind of a fun prison escape scene where Merle is in the kitchen. He just gets in with the trays, they load him up, and out
The
he
hollowed out trays.
goes.
That was crazy.
Yep, that was fun. Now, I don't know why. See, this is what I don't understand. I mean, I understand why Merle would want to get out of prison, right? But where does this fit in what is happening here? Because we know that the person running the AB on the outside we haven't seen that dude since like episode 2. What was his name? Like Sharms or Shams
Oh
or
yeah, that
something?
guy that was went on the corner after
Yeah.
Bunny. All that.
And
those
Mike,
two guys at
he
the
walked into the
Mike
meth
head butted the
house.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. So, regardless, that guy is not powerful, and Mike was controlling him, and the AB they had become something less. They didn't have any power in
Yeah.
Kingstown, it
They've
seemed
kind of been a
anymore.
non-factor most of this
Yeah.
season. We haven't
Well,
really
because
seen
they
them much
were,
else. Yeah.
and they were aligned with the Russians. We saw that.
Hmm.
They were
yeah.
always aligned with the Russians.
Hmm.
I almost feel
So,
like he's gonna go after Tracy and get some little personal revenge stuff with the McCluskeys. That's what I was scared. I'm scared of. I don't know
yeah.
if what you know. I
Yes. You know what? So I was also wondering why the fuck Kyle would say on the phone that he knows is being listened to. How's your fucking sisters doing?
I was so
Like,
pissed off.
why are you
I'm
telling
like,
him where she is?
yeah,
Hmm.
that I don't know.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
annoyed me. Anyway, that plays into that. Maybe that's true. We'll see what happens with Merle. I'm interested both in that and in the larger picture because we always hear about the inside of the prison, the outside of the prison, where the power is.
Or
So for some reason, Merle needs to go out and establish the outside power.
would would Merle go and try and make an alliance with the Colombians?
Perhaps, like to cut Hobbs out of it because he
Yeah,
felt he was
and to
just being
cut
used
Bunny
by
and
her.
his crew out
That's
yeah.
and cut
possible.
Mike
I mean,
out?
because think about
Yeah.
it. Everyone's gonna be looking for him. He's an escaped prisoner.
Yeah.
So why aside from some personal revenge, say, what would be his main objective? And like you said, it may be to start establishing the Brotherhood more out on the
Yeah.
outside because
Hmm.
they're weak on the outside. So maybe that's his, yeah. So what is Wyndham Earl
Yeah,
trying to
Wyndham
do
Earl.
out
Yeah,
there? Like why? Because this evidently was planned, this
Yeah.
escape.
Yeah, and
So
but it
what's
also
the
happened so easily and with the help of the security guards that it felt to me like he was almost might go out and come back in without anybody
You
knowing.
know, that's a funny point because you're right. Like it was too easy.
It was so easy. It was fun, but it was very easy. And
Yeah.
and he has it good in the prison too, Merle. He has nothing to worry about.
Well, I was confused because I guess it's the way Mike talks about him. I thought like that he's lost power in the prison.
That's and what Kyle says too. Mike
Yeah,
set you
so
up, right? So
that's why I'm kind of like,
we'll have to see what
I don't
happens.
know.
hmm
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
going to do something.
A lot
We
of
know he's
questions
going to
around
do
what the Merle
something.
stuff is going to happen here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
All
Wyndham
right.
Earl.
Yeah, well,
So
always about Wyndham Earl. Always questions about
there you
Wyndham.
go. Then we get to obviously. Do we really want to say R.I.P.? Nah, fuck you. Robert gets taken out. Hard on Ian though. Love the scene. Love the whole bar lead up. What do you have something for us, Solo? You want to say something?
Okay, this was my question of the week. Is Robert gonna be killed? Do you think he wakes up? Do you think this is it for Robert?
I think
I
he's
had,
done.
yeah, I had considered that he wakes up and he's like, those motherfuckers tried to kill
And
me.
then, well, and then he comes DC sniper shit. Maybe he's the another wild card, and he just starts taking people out. He goes
Wow, I
nuts.
had
Would they do
not.
that? Would they do that
If they
with
did, I would
Robert?
have respect for it. If this,
Well,
if the net, if we get a cold open in the next scene where it's just like, like Robert wakes up and he fucking
And he
opens the
just starts
garage
taking
door,
people out during this war that
that
happens.
would be
What if
nuts, dude. Oh my God,
that's
that
what
would
I
be
was thinking? I'm
nuts.
like, what if
Yeah.
they did that and just this is
Um,
how Robert's
that
gonna
would be
go out?
nuts,
yeah.
but I
Okay. I don't think so.
I
I
think
don't
I
he's
think
think,
gone.
so.
yeah,
That's probably
but
too much, but
the way and the reason why I think because the way they rolled this out with going basically it was highlights of scenes. We're at Robert's house, he's drinking, cleaning his gun, right? Then he's watching it. We're at the bar, he's getting drunk. Then he goes home with Ian. And the thing that got me was the mirror shot of Ian walking away from Robert's house,
Yeah,
just like he did a couple of
yeah,
episodes after taking care of
yep.
him like a brother in arms and lying him down on the couch. But he saw the gun. Remember, he put the gun on top. He didn't
yeah,
use the gun, though. I like the Chekhov's gun thing. We're not
yeah,
going to use
Yeah.
that gun.
yeah.
But I think it was beautifully done. I thought it
The other
really,
the other reason I think why he's gone is it was really subtle. But when they're sitting at the bar and he's pouring his drinks out all the time, Ian's not taking it, faking taking the shots and pouring them out.
yeah,
He
yeah.
takes a shot with him one time, and it's when Robert is
Oh,
like, "I love my son. I'm doing this all for him," and Ian obviously feels bad that he's taking the dad away from
Right.
his son, and that's when Ian takes the shot. He doesn't pour that shot out. He
wow.
takes the shot when Robert says how much he loves his son. I thought that was like, man, this fucking show is. I thought that was an amazing subtle touch. I thought at the
Yeah.
bar. That's
I
why I'm
didn't
like,
notice
Robert's
that.
gone.
Yeah, yeah. It was the way they did it was great. I just think it's tough for Ian. Ian's the one who look.
Well, it's tough for Robert too because
Yeah, it's tough for Robert, but
he's dead.
my alliance kind of with character is with and I'm more interested in seeing Ian and what he's done so
Yeah. Oh
far
yeah.
and his history and all, you know. I mean, I like the character of Robert. I think the actor was great. I
Hmm.
think this season gave him an opportunity to do a lot, but this is a natural
Well,
conclusion.
it's kind of like Kareem last year. You can't really go. There's only so
Yeah.
far you can go.
Exactly. But what I think where this leaves Ian is what I'm most interested in because
Hmm.
he had to do this and he keeps on having to clean up for Mike and then he the thing with Evelyn and it's just yeah he's been through a lot. But I thought the whole thing was great. All right. During that, we got a kind of cross cut where it kind of tricked us, where we thought Mike picks up the phone and he's like, I'll be there in 10. So you think like Mike's going to pick Ian up or he's going to help him take Robert out. But really, Mike is going to the hospital. He sees Bunny's sister. Then he gets to talk to Bunny. Bunny is awake. He's alive, which of course I never had any doubt.
Yeah.
And
Bunny's not going out like that.
yeah, and such tender moments. Just the way he keeps touching his arm and fiddling with his
I
They're
might have heard
brothers.
this
nightgown.
wrong, but it was he like, oh, is Frank okay? But like I might have interpreted it wrong, like I was hanging out
No,
with my
no, he
friends.
sounded. I think Bunny was doing good acting, like he had a little medication in him too,
Is
Yeah.
Frank all
right?
right?
Yeah, he
What about
was. He
Frank?
was like, "Okay, Mike, okay." He
Uh-huh.
was kind of laughing a little bit.
Yeah.
But it made it cute though because it reminds us of this is his brother, right? Mike loves Bunny. Mike loves Bunny and Kyle, and that's about it.
Hmm.
And he's starting to kind of like to be around Cindy, even though her kid's
Yes.
annoying. But he really only loves Bunny and Kyle. And honestly, he loves Bunny more than Kyle because he's
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
take care of Kyle.
Bunny's his brother,
Bunny
even though
is
Kyle's
like, yeah,
biological brother. Bunny's his
I'll,
brother.
I'll put it to you this way. Bunny and Mike are hetero life mates, right? That's
Yep.
what they are. Just like Jay and Silent Bob. That's who they
Yep.
are.
There you go.
Yes. That's
And
exactly right.
that's where that comes from, hetero life mates. But this was a cute scene, but he tells him, it was Frank that took you out, Bunny. And Bunny is kind of shocked. I mean, he's got a lot of fucking shit in his system and he almost died. But he goes along with it. And then Mike explains the plan. We're going to set him up. We're going to put him in prison. And then he's all yours. And that's how we end the episode. That's our plan.
Wow. Unbelievable. I
Yep.
mean, it, like I said earlier, this was definitely an episode where it seems like the people we root for, things are starting to go their way or they're thinking better
Hmm.
to do certain things. But of course, it's Kingstown. It's not gonna be wrapped up nice in a bow.
Yeah.
Um, but the intentions are good. I just again, the other wild card, is what because we can't figure out Moses,
Hmm.
like all his angles and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm like, this is a good plan, but I don't think it's gonna be that simple.
Well,
No.
he's following along. We don't know right where he stands in regard to Mike and everything, but he did follow along with the plan to take the drugs from the
That's true.
Colombians, and so
Yeah.
for that much, he's following along with the plan. So, is Mike going to use that to set him up? Were people watching that? Is he have evidence that Frank ordered this or something? I don't know how
Yeah, I
Mike is
know.
going to set him up either.
Yeah.
That's a big question for me. Even though with the cops and the DA on your side, you kind of can do whatever the fuck you want, right? I mean, that's the advantage
Yeah,
that Mike
yeah,
has in Kingstown.
yeah.
I still think Mike might foolishly trust that Frank doesn't know anything. Like he said, Frank doesn't know
Yeah,
any of this. I think he's underestimating Frank. And
I could see that definitely.
like
Yeah.
Frank has to be suspicious that Mike's going to try and set him up. Frank is no dummy. So
No.
I think this might be an issue for Mike in the future that he's a little too
Yeah.
overconfident. Because I mean, Mike was more like I said earlier. He's way more proactive this episode. He's way more seems more confident. And usually in this show, when people get confident, bad things happen. So
That's a good point, Ando, because a lot of times in the past we're like, oh, Mike's got this planned way ahead, and he doesn't. A
yeah,
lot of times he doesn't
or he
that
thinks he
far.
does, and it just
Well,
completely falls
yeah.
apart. Yeah.
Which
Yep.
again, which I love because it doesn't make him superhero mayor.
Hmm.
It makes him, I'm from Kingstown. I stepped into this because my brother got whacked, and I do good things, but I'm trying. It makes it real.
Hmm.
You know.
Yep. All right,
All
everybody.
right.
Great show. Thank you, Ando. Thank you, Solo. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everyone, for downloading. Welcome to our new Patreons. And check us out at DVR Podcast at gmail.com. Write us. Write us what you think. DVR Podcast at gmail.com, DVRpodcast.com. We also have our other show, Around the Couch, where we talk about the NFL, which is a lot of fun. You can listen to that. Subscribe to Daily DVR. And who knows? Oh, I think maybe we might next week or sometime we might talk a little bit about the Time Warner Netflix deal. Maybe talk a little bit about that or something like that too. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next time. Peace
Good
out.
night, Ian.